S-D-P-P. The Steve Dangle Podcast. With your hosts, Steve Dangle, Adam Wilde, and Jesse Blake.
Let's go!
I'm going to start the show with something that's going to annoy an entire city.
Okay.
There's a reason why
I'm trying to think of what you could say.
a yellow lid
Why is that?
matches the jersey color.
You also didn't have a choice. That's just the lid that
Yeah.
comes at the coffee place.
No, they got blue ones too.
Oh, yeah?
It's true.
Oh, yeah?
Steve's got a blue one.
I got a blue one.
Oh, yeah. Totally.
I love that as a grown up, I can still be like, I want the blue one.
Yeah, I wanted.
You've reverse engineered this intro.
I have, but I did pick the blue one because I was like, oh, that'll be a fun little intro.
Oh, yeah?
Jesse, you blew my freaking cover, dude.
Yeah.
Can you just let me?
No.
Can I just get?
No. Tell us how Crosby sucks.
Crosby staying in Pittsburgh. Yeah. Crosby staying in Pittsburgh. I promised you this segment. I told you guys to hold off on your
Oh,
opinions.
you were intimidated
Yeah.
by Josh. Yo, he's about to beat your ass.
That was a good time to hold the convo because we were like 150 in.
Yeah,
And
we-
this needs 40 minutes.
I forgot that we didn't do this.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And
All
so
right.
I think it's time that we had it out, like the debate on the show. And we've got other stuff we could talk about, but like, I'll be honest with you, hockey news wise, like, man, I got so many hot takes on Dave Hackstall going to the Avs, right? Like, there's not a whole lot.
Isaac Howard?
We are going to talk about Isaac Howard.
That's a big one.
We'll
Yeah.
talk about it. We'll
Yeah,
talk
yeah,
about
yeah.
it. But
Ike, actually.
yeah,
Ike.
Said he prefers Ike.
which is perfect because Ike's Canadian. Kick the baby, no kick the baby. You got to go to, if you're an Edmonton Oilers fan and you don't show up with like an Ike, like South Park reference.
They got to scream that when he scores his first NHL
No,
goal.
kick the baby.
Isaac Howard coming down the wing, scores! He kicked the baby! And the Oilers lead 1-0. They need that.
Do kids today watch South Park?
I think so.
I don't think
I don't know about kids. Adults do.
But I watched South Park as a kid.
Yeah, I watched.
Like I was watching South Park when I was like
And you
10
should
or whatever.
not have.
Yeah, but I feel like it was a thing when I was in high school.
We
That
all
stuff.
had one friend whose parents supervised them poorly, and we had a sleepover at their house, and we watched.
Friday
Yeah.
nights, 9:30 Comedy Network.
And we watched so much South Park until we all fell asleep and threw up.
Did South Park age with its audience? Like, is it appealing now to us instead of aging with the young core and it staying in that little generation,
Yeah.
the next generation pocket?
I think
probably
it's very unk.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you're probably right.
Yeah.
That's okay.
That's
Fine.
That's fine. It's ours.
Fine.
We're
Yes.
It can be ours.
Yeah.
Maddie, do you watch South Park? Yeah. You do.
I also had two older brothers though.
Yeah.
So like maybe that's
why
why I
you
was
can
more
handle us
influenced.
so well. It's like you've had two older brothers, so you're like, yeah, I know this crap.
You have an Asian
Yeah.
influence in your house.
Yeah.
yeah, I like that. I
I love South Park. I think it's fucking hilarious.
It's the best. It's the
So
best show
good.
on television. But I remember my mom was like, why do you like, you should not be watching this, blah, 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 blah. And I remember I got the box set for like season 6 for Christmas, and I showed her the Aspen video or the Aspen episode, and she thought it was the funniest thing she's ever seen. She was in tears. Like the, where he's like playing Standard. Yeah.
Nice one.
The headlights. Oh,
She thought that was the funniest thing ever. That's the only episode she finds like
Really?
hilarious. She's like the rest of it. She's like, this is stupid.
I love.
Everything else, she's like, this is.
show her
yeah.
the Scott Tenorman one or the Woodland Critter Christmas.
No, Scott Chadderman's too dark.
Yeah, it's dark. The Woodland Critter Christmas one's pretty messy too.
They
Yeah.
have an unbelievable amount of incredibly dark episodes.
Yeah.
All right. So the reason I want to bring this up is it's not about whether. So Josh Yohe put an article into The Athletic, as he is known to do because he works for them.
Josh, he's spitting.
And he suggested in the article that Crosby has been covered in glory most of his career. Mm-hmm. That the most glorious moment of his career might be the struggle ahead. And might be just staying through the hard times and maybe even retiring before the Penguins get back to the playoffs, but retiring a Penguin.
I think that's an enormous stretch, but
I
understand where he's going.
I'm going to read you pieces of it. And by the way, this article is a couple weeks old, so I don't feel bad about reading out. It's like if you've read it, you read it. If you didn't, it's probably not going to get a whole bunch of...
He's still a Penguin.
Well, but I also like
The New York Times is going to sue you for that $3.99.
Yeah, I'm paying them for it. By the way,
Yeah,
I'm
but
promoting their product. I'm not AI scraping this.
You're reading it to a bunch of people. You don't know if they paid that $3.99.
Listen, it's not like the article came out today. I screen
Start
grabbed
from
it
the
all
beginning
and put it on Twitter.
Yeah.
Start
Which
from
some
the
people
beginning.
do.
Start from the beginning.
Start from the
and read
beginning.
every word.
By Josh Yohe, Athletic. No.
You should read it in the horrible robotic voice they have narrating it.
They could do better.
They
if you're
could
going to
do
use
better.
AI, there are better voices.
Every written outlet.
We're never getting to this.
No, we're not.
No.
Every print outlet that has a voice reading the article.
Yeah.
Thank you and bless you. But holy shit, do better. It's 2025.
Yeah, I'm with you.
Here
All right.
we are. Athletic article. Josh Yohe, Sidney Crosby, bathed in. Okay. Get a voice. Anyway.
Crosby's name was prominent over the weekend. This again over, draft and free agency weekend, right? Because remember, George LaRock, who when he tweets stuff is 100% always wrong. I want people to understand this. Montrealers, how do you keep falling for this man? Apparently, he's hilarious and a wicked guy. But George LaRock, whenever he tweets something, I'm like, well, that's probably wrong. And he's always wrong.
No, every gust of wind you feel in Montreal is George LaRock whiffing again.
Yeah.
Holy crap.
It's like the Expos, but in the bad years.
Man.
And it's not a shot at LaRock. I think he's got bad sources, and he goes with them. And so he said, Josh Yohe references this, and there's a backstory here, but we'll get to that in a second. Crosby's name was prominent over the weekend, of course. Rumors were flying about Crosby's future, as they have been for several months. On one level, it's disrespectful to Crosby, who has repeatedly stated his only intention is to finish his career someday with the only team he's ever known. On another level, the one Pittsburgh doesn't really like to acknowledge, things in Pittsburgh must be a little deflating for the captain these days. So, second point, I agree. First point, it's not disrespectful to Crosby to speculate on his future. If that's disrespectful, then every single NHL player has been disrespectful.
I don't want to hear you talk about trades anymore, Josh.
That's disrespectful. Well, I mean, it's probably disrespectful to talk about Erik Karlsson.
I don't want to hear it.
So I think, listen, I want to state this for our Pittsburgh audience, who have been so good to us over the years.
So damn good.
They're incredible. I don't expect you to like this segment. I don't expect you to like us during this segment necessarily. Jesse, I think you're going to like very much. But I do understand the place that Crosby has in your lore. I understand how important he is to the Penguins franchise. I understand and remember where the Penguins were before he got there, which is almost in Hamilton, like a foot out the door.
They were disgraceful.
And they were bankrupt.
They were worse than, arguably, like the Buffalo Sabres of the past, like
Embarrassing.
God knows
run.
how
Yeah,
long.
they're terrible.
Like they get the first overall pick. People forget the first one was Flower. It was Fleury. And immediately we're like, they're ruining him. Like in the middle, there's an 18-year-old who's in the NHL and getting shelled every night he's in the NHL, but he's also not in the NHL because they can't afford to pay him. And, it was a catastrophe.
And if you remember back far enough, and this is before we were born, Mario Lemieux was the same. Penguins were a catastrophe, had been for a decade. They wouldn't pay Mario what he wanted in his rookie deal, because remember back then there was no structured rookie deals. They just were what they were. So when the Pittsburgh Penguins selected him in, I think, the 1984-1985 draft, he refused to get up and put on the jersey. He stayed in his seat. The cameras went to him, and he just sat there with his really cool 80s mullet. He had a good mullet. And, and so, Josh goes on to say, Crosby's loyalty should be celebrated this season, and I'm sure it will be. We should probably appreciate his pain tolerance, too. This season, he'll have to deal with the growing pains of a young team. He will probably have to deal with goaltending that will cost him even more games than it should. Absolutely. Wow. He'll have to deal with a team that's not in championship mode. And the most painful of all, hang on.
Sure.
He'll have to watch Malkin's farewell tour.
I think that's disrespectful to Tristan Jarry because he has voiced repeatedly that he's trying.
Here's where Josh sort of gets to the crux of his argument, and I'm obviously not reading his entire article word for word because that's not what we need to do here.
No.
The best stories is towards the end. The best stories deal with some pain before the glory. Most of Crosby's career has been a parade of glory, but the pain of the last few years have been real, and the storm is probably going to get worse before the possibility of that wonderful ending presents itself. And he's talking specifically about Malkin. Dubas has already said, listen, we're going to have a chat with him around trade deadline, see what he wants to do. We know Rust is going to get traded eventually. We know Raquel is going to get traded eventually. We think Carlson might get traded because the bonus is paid now and the actual money owing is a lot cheaper, and he can go to a team with abundance of cap space that doesn't have to pay him that much, but it's still a cap thing.
Yep.
So we know that. What some in the hockey world sadly don't understand is that, to Crosby, this kind of story is so much more appealing than the idea of playing elsewhere. Maybe it doesn't seem appealing to you or me, but to him, it is. He's a little different from the rest of us, and it's a good thing for the Penguins. His pride in the organization and the city is so deep that I suspect he will stick around long enough to ensure everything is back on track with the Penguins. It's going to take a while. And that's how he ends it. Now, I think I have a few issues with this. Okay. And I'm not in the dressing room with Sidney Crosby after every game like Josh is. So I'm going to start with that asterisk. I would like to know how anyone knows what Sid thinks about this. To put this on the sentence that bothers me is what some in the hockey world sadly don't understand is that to Crosby, this kind of story is so much more appealing than the idea of playing elsewhere. According to who?
I think a lot of people in sports, this isn't a shot at Josh. It's
not at all. This is not a let's dunk Josh's head in the toilet tour. This is a Pittsburgh versus the world story.
Yeah, like I've spoken to many players, a lot of them at length and a lot of them multiple times, and sometimes I have to remind myself, you don't know him.
Of course not.
You don't know this guy, and it's different than covering a beat. I know, but I think, I mean, Jesus, some of these people have covered Crosby for a generation.
Josh would be one of them.
Yeah, he started playing 20 years ago. That's crazy. I think this is season 20, or was last season 20?
Doesn't matter.
Played forever. That is, I think, one of the most interesting things about Sidney Crosby is I don't think any of us know him.
I didn't even know until I asked CJ if he was dating.
I'm like,
does he have a girlfriend? He's like, yeah, he does. She was on the ice for
You can Google that.
You can Google that?
Yeah.
There was.
Did you try Google before you texted him?
I would have thought that would have come up sometime. I guess I could have Googled it, but like.
No, but like that has.
So the AI Gemini says Sidney Crosby once dated somebody, but it's probably unclear. It's like
he's got a longtime girlfriend, and the funny thing I think amongst Penguins fans is he won't put a ring on her, but because he's always chasing the next ring in the league.
I like that.
But he has a longtime girlfriend.
Well, since he's done doing that, apparently,
because he wants to be done. That's more appealing to him. So this is the thing. If you're going to write that sentence, and this is where, again, I'm not criticizing Josh's writing, but if he was on the podcast with me, I'd be like, how do you know that? You got to give me something.
You don't think he has insight on what's going on?
I know, but
I think he does.
Sources say, people in his camp, like anything.
Read it again. I think
what some in the hockey world sadly don't understand is that to Crosby, this kind of story is so much more appealing than the idea of him playing elsewhere. I think you got to say, well, sources in his camp, or he's alluded to this, or here's a quote from last season that backs up what I'm dropping. That's a big sentence to drop. And maybe I'm not questioning that. I'm not questioning Josh's work. I'm going, but like, show me your work. Show me your work. Give me something that says that. Now, is that probably true? I think right now it probably is. Mm-hmm. So, I don't think Josh is out of hand. I think the argument, though, that it's somehow glorious and that Sid somehow has control about getting the Penguins back on track is far-fetched. Because the team is currently for sale. I think the reason he's not going to get traded, at least for now, is that the team's for sale. And it's
Crosby obviously makes them more valuable.
Exactly. You trade Crosby, knock $80 million off the price.
Yeah.
I'm serious. Like
probably more.
So that part of it, from a business perspective, that makes complete sense. If Sid wants to stay all the way through this painful rebuild or the first couple of years of it, I mean, Mario did that, but Mario also like owned a little bit later on, I guess. And I'm looking at this and I'm going, okay, you're telling me that you know what Sidney Crosby's thinking, and that the entire hockey world around him, and that goes back to last summer when CJ first broached the subject on his show, and people got out of joint about that.
Because Crosby at the time did not have a contract extension.
That's right.
Yeah.
And CJ merely broached the fact of it's possible he's not going to be here in a couple years.
It was interesting that we'd reached early or late July, I guess early August, because he signed it, second week of August, first week?
Yeah.
And that he still wasn't signed.
It was
through the next season. Not that.
I think it's insulting to question CJ asking a very legitimate question, which is, hey, the greatest player in the history of this franchise, greatest player of his generation, top 5 forward all time, probably by the time it's all said and done, Stanley Cup champion, gold medalist, Hart Trophy, scoring title. It's a little weird he's not signed right now.
Signed through the next season.
Yes.
Like he's eligible for an extension. It wasn't like he was a UFA, right?
Yeah.
No.
But yeah, it's weird that he's eligible to sign through past this season. He hasn't done that.
And they stink. And at that point, they had admitted they stunk too. At that point, they're like, we're going for the playoffs. Like, shut up. So I understand while this sale is pending, and there's 2 groups involved. There's the Mario Lemieux group that's way late on this. And then there's the other group that I'm not really certain too much about them. I don't think Crosby gets traded in that time. Do I think, when I hear Greg Wyshynski talking about the fact that he's like, well, listen, I've long thought that maybe he'd finish his career in Montreal. And he's like, obviously we want.
Oh, you would, Devil's boy.
And then, then he's like, that I think he called the Avalanche thing with Nathan McKinnon like a pipe dream, but something that would be really fun. The idea of even talking about this, musing about this, in the way that we muse about the fact that Connor McDavid could be a free agent next summer, is so outside of the pale of something that you should talk about in Pittsburgh circles that it's disrespectful to Crosby. That's where I kind of go, okay, but it's the NHL. And people do get traded, and signings do happen. And Ray Bourque won a championship in his 22nd year after playing with the Bruins.
22.
Like, I feel like that's a relevant thing to talk about. And while I think George Larocque was completely out to lunch about his source about, well, Crosby won't be playing with the Penguins by trade deadline. Dude, okay, sure. To say that, guys, he won't ever even consider it. I mean, I think he already has.
I mean, the idea that
must
it's
have.
never crossed his mind is, I think, absurd. But here's where I'll tell you I'm coming around.
Okay, give it to me.
It is romantic.
Absolutely.
It's romantic, and the full circle thing of, that's what Mario did for him. Okay, great.
Like, he could be McKenna. McKenna could be living in his basement next year the way he lived in Mario's basement.
Yeah. Here's the other thing, though. To have a truly... I question whether or not the return for Sidney Crosby would be enough for it to be worth it. Which is, I know, a wild thing to say, because think of the bounty you could get for Sidney Crosby. Well, you're not getting the first overall pick. That's not what
They're going to have that anyway.
Well, you have a chance.
They're going to get it.
You have a chance. I think Crosby.
They're going to get it. It's going to be the third straight generation with a generational player at first overall.
They're going to get Gavin McKinnon.
Absolutely, they're going to get Gavin McKinnon.
That's so crazy.
I already know. I feel it in my bones.
That is insane. So there's that. But let's say they don't. Let's say they never get him. The picks you're getting for Crosby are high 20s at best. So you get I don't even know. The bounties that we saw for ridiculous trades in our youth, I don't think are available today. There's only one return I've seen for a player in recent memory that made me like go, holy shit. Like,
Tanner Chanel.
Well, yeah, you know what? That was insane. Here's an entire draft class for this like third liner maybe.
For 7 goals.
Like, dude, insane. No, from this past deadline, a first and Cal Ritchie for Brock Nelson.
Pretty good.
What about the 2 firsts and 2/3 and Logan Stankoven for Rantanen? I mean, I do think those deals are out there, Steve, when the player is special enough.
When the player is, yeah, but
You don't think Crosby could get more than Brock Nelson?
I think he absolutely
I
could.
don't think he could get more than Rantanen.
If you're
Interesting.
Rantanen's a lot younger. You're
Yeah.
getting, how many seasons are you getting of Sid? I think optimistically 3. If you traded him today.
Yeah.
so
Optimistically 3.
So you don't think, like, if Kyle Dubas called, let's say, Joe Sakic, or he called Kent Hughes, or he called whoever Crosby might end up on, right? And he goes, and let's say they have all their picks, because I don't need to go into Puckpedia and do that research.
Well, a lot of the contending teams don't have them.
I'll take your top 2 or 3 prospects, and I'll take your first 2 or 3 picks for the next 3 years while Crosby's playing. And tell me that anybody says no to that. Nobody says no to that.
I think the teams that wouldn't say no to that have already spent it. Colorado doesn't have shit. Florida doesn't have shit. Selfishly, the Leafs don't have shit. Like, a lot of these teams, their cup runneth over right now. When the friggin'
I
music,
think Montreal does.
when the music stops, Montreal is interesting.
And he grew up a Habs fan.
He did grow up a Habs fan. Okay? Like, yeah, that's there. But do we need to trade Crosby? Because Malkin's going to get a shitload. Raquel's going to get a shitload.
I think Raquel might get the most.
Maybe. Rust.
Boatload.
Shitload. And you're still, even at his age and cap hit, probably going to get assets for Karlsson. Right?
How?
Yeah, well, how'd the Sharks do it? Right?
Well, he came off a Norris Trophy year.
Yeah.
I'm not spending assets
He
on a
still
guy
had
who
over
skips
50
camp.
points.
Yeah, and he skipped camp.
He
sorry.
still had
I'm
over
just
50
so
points.
not.
He's
the GM
still a
sewered
special
him
player.
at the press conference at the end of the season and said,
Yeah, because he
his
can't shut up.
His ambitions need to match his process. Like, that's insane. What an insane quote.
The Leafs went from the most experienced GM in the history of hockey, who never speaks, to the most youngest and inexperienced who will not shut the fuck up. Right? He probably shouldn't have said all that. You're going to get assets for Karlsson.
Yeah.
So let's say you do an unreal job. Dinger. Like, with all the picks, all the prospects, all the everything. Wouldn't it be nice to have Crosby there to help usher him in? Because the mistake that so many of these teams around the league are making, Buffalo, is
The perpetual bottom out.
there's no one there for the kids. Man, Connor Bedard last year,
Nick
Charlie
Foligno.
looked like he was in a
Nick Foligno is what they gave him.
And Jesse,
and is he signed for next year?
did you see the report, by the way, too, that apparently Chicago were really unhappy with the veterans, some of the veterans that they signed with the
'cause
effort and
they
process
weren't
they put
good.
in? No, not just that. Is that they weren't happy with their attitudes.
Charlie was in a better mood when I met him at the shelter.
Your dog.
My
Former
dog, who's dead. Way to bring up that he's dead. Adam. Thank you. But he was in a better mood when we met him at the shelter than
Connor Bedard in that
most
penalty
of
box.
the pictures I saw of Connor Bedard.
Yep.
Kid looked miserable.
Yep.
Nick Foligno's a UFA after this season.
There you go. Probably making, I think, the sun and also the moon
I think 4.5.
and future considerations. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because you have the cap space and you need tax-paying adults over 30 on your team sometimes.
Right.
And they didn't really have any. You could do a lot worse than Sidney Crosby. They've already started. They're way behind. But they've already started trading those four. Like, Pittsburgh might be watering down the market by themselves. Oh, why would I trade assets for Rust when I could get Raquel? Oh, that's the same team? Shit. Dubas is in a wonderful spot, and he could spread this out over the year. He could trade Ricard Raquel in July. He could trade Rust in August. He could trade Malkin in January, and he could trade Carlson. You could spread it out beautifully like some teams have. Calgary did a wonderful job a couple years ago. And then you have Sidney Crosby at the helm of it all. And Letang is also there, right? Who knows if he goes or he stays. Maybe you have one guy leading the way for the forwards, one guy leading the way for the defense. I get it. I understand it. And who knows? Maybe they turn it around real quick and Crosby feels young again and he just won gold in Italy, hopefully, and he's rejuvenated. And you know what? I'm not leaving. I'm not fucking leaving. And he plays another year. You see how easy it is to get romantic about this? Mm-hmm. And why would you... To say it's a bad idea would be to bet against Sidney Crosby, which is just not something I'm willing to do.
Now, that is a bad idea.
It's just not something I'm willing to do. That's how it could work. And I just think the return is, no matter what, it's going to be underwhelming. Like, even those Rantanen picks, they're going to be shitty picks. They are. Because who'd you get them from? Dallas. Mm-hmm. Those picks are going to stink. I don't know if any of them are 2025. Those picks probably stunk. You're in the Western Conference Final. There's a bottom 4 pick right away. So you're like, oh, come on, 29. Those picks are going to stink. So I would want a prospect instead of a pick. Because the odds of a blue chipper like Callum Ritchie being better than the 28th overall pick, I like him.
Jesse, I know that you are on the side of he should stay.
Yeah. To offer my opinion on the whole discussion and Yohi there and Adam hoping that he becomes a Toronto Maple Leaf one day.
Always.
Selfish. Toronto media.
Friggin' absolutely. I want Crosby in Toronto. Yeah.
You're the reason Martner left.
The reason that it's such an interesting conversation is because it's Sidney Crosby. So I feel when there's pushback from Yohi and Pittsburgh writers and Pittsburgh fans about like the speculation around this player's career, I understand it. Because for them, it's like it's wholly unnecessary for other fans. Like it's fun for them to go like, what if he was a Colorado Avalanche and playing with Nate? Like that's so cool. But from them looking from the inside out, they're like, this is our franchise icon. We want him to be here forever. It's different than you speculating if Connor McDavid's going somewhere because he's Sidney Crosby. And he's at the end of his career, and we know everything's played out, and he's at legend status. So for them to push back on the noise around Crosby and the speculation, I understand it because he's different than every other player in the league. So it's not the same when we're guessing where he's going to go. And for me, like
to not even entertain having here's the thing. The reaction from Pittsburgh starting from last summer was don't even have the conversation. You're an idiot. And for me, I'm like, well, no, I can have the conversation as many times as I want, actually. That's the thing is like, sadly, you don't understand things in Pittsburgh. Well, I do understand. I do get it. I understand what he's done. And Jesse, I'm sorry
no, go ahead.
to interject, and I want you to continue after this. But I also think it's a completely relevant conversation to talk about somebody like Michael Jordan played for the Wizards. Like it happens. Shit happens, man.
And maybe shouldn't have.
And maybe well, he was pretty good the first year.
Pippen on the Blazers is worse.
Is weird. Is weird. So Jesse.
Yeah, no, like totally people can have the conversations, like the biggest conversations, but for them looking at the conversations, they're like, look at those guys just flapping in the wind. And I get that because I honestly don't think Crosby wants to go anywhere. I think in his whole heart, his desire would be to stay in Pittsburgh forever. I think that's what also Pittsburgh writers believe. And I think that's what Pittsburgh fans believe. And oftentimes those things are the same thing. So I feel like them looking at all of the noise, they're like, you guys are wasting your time.
Hold on. Are you telling me certain writers in certain cities that cover certain sports teams are not objective? Don't you dare make that. There are no Toronto Maple Leafs fan in the press corps here.
No,
None.
no.
Zero. No, none of them are cheering for the Leafs.
Some of them are.
People wish there were more.
Yeah, no.
yeah.
So there should be more at sometimes, some of those Leaf writers.
I think that's a good point.
But yeah, so I feel like they look at everybody talking and yapping and they say, you guys are wasting your time. And that's why you get pushback from that market. And then, I don't disagree with them that he's going to stay and it makes sense. And I like the way you outlined it, Steve, because that's how I think it's going to happen. I think it'd be cool if they got Gavin McKenna to go from Lemieux to Crosby to McKenna is crazy serendipity. I'd love to see it to happen. And you're selling off all those pieces. You need the old guy around. He gets year, 22?
Yeah.
Would be his send off. So he actually fulfills this contract. That's his retirement tour year, the same way Fleury had his this past season, and then he's done and it's all wrapped up and we get a clean ending. And so often with these pro athletes, they hang on until it gets ugly. And I never want to see that with Crosby. He might want it.
I don't think it's going to happen.
He's Sidney Crosby, so
play till 50.
He might have that in him where he's going to hang on forever, because that's what it takes to compete at that level, is to never think that it's over for you. So who knows if he's gonna make that decision to keep playing forever. But I don't want to see Brett Favre on the Vikings, even though they go to the playoffs and all that nonsense. It's ugly. I don't want to see Aaron Rodgers on the Pittsburgh Steelers right now.
That sentence was too long. I don't want to see Aaron Rodgers.
I hate it. And this, by the way, the Steelers seem to think that they're going to be. Listen, I'm a Steeler fan till I die. They think they're going to be good. They're going all in now.
Yeah.
What are we doing? Sorry.
Don't bring Hakeem Olajuwon to the Raptors.
Yes. Thank you.
We don't need that.
How old is that guy anyway?
He was so old. We didn't even know his birthday.
No, we didn't. He was probably 46,
legitimately
47.
when he was in the NBA, but that's a whole other thing. I don't need these guys hanging on for all, because the athlete, they always make these decisions. Nobody goes out on top. And I wonder if Crosby, these next 2 years, he looks at it and he's like, this thing's ending really quick in Pittsburgh because our team isn't good, and he wraps up his career. I'd like to just see him end as a Penguin.
Counter argument: 3 straight 90+ points.
Yeah, but one day.
Hey, how many did he get in the playoffs?
0.
Yo, wow, why is he such a playoff ghost?
He put up 93, 94, 91. Dash.
Oh, negatives? Yeah.
No, through his playoff stats.
Yeah.
Zeros.
I will never forgive Brian Burke and Ron Hextall for how they ran the Penguins before Dubas got there.
And he would have had over 90 each of the 2 years before that too, actually.
We'll never forgive them for the position that they've put them, that he put them in. However, Kyle doubled down on that position. That first July 1st, it is one of the worst July 1st I've ever seen a general manager have. And I'm not saying that because I'm a salty Leaf fan, which I am a salty Leaf fan. But I at the time, and now it's even worse, the Graves, the Jari, the Erik Karlsson trade eventually, when you already had Letang, who was still functioning pretty highly.
Never made sense.
Why did you need Erik Karlsson? Because you're a Senators fan? What is it? What was the reason for that?
Adam Wild.
I need to go get Erik Karlsson when I got Chris Letang. No, but how else does it make sense?
No.
You're an Erik Karlsson fan? Okay.
To be clear, I haven't once said you were wrong. But gosh darn.
So I am not happy with how management has handled this. And the position, I would say, that we're in, talking about it, only exists because of how poorly managed the team was before Fenway and especially during Fenway. That is, we're here because of bad management. Let's just call it what it is. And so, as much as I'm sure Pittsburgh people hate hearing this, next time I go to a Steelers game, I have to watch my back.
Because all the things you said about Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah, well, that too. The Aaron Rodgers Mafia is going to be after me. Actually, everybody in Pittsburgh's so nice. They'll be like, I didn't really like that, but it's nice to have you here. They're very warm. I think the thing is, we're here because the management group put us here, and it would be silly of us not to consider the possibility. And the idea, and I heard Freed say this on 32 Thoughts a couple weeks ago. He's like, well, Crosby hates this talk. I'm sorry, Sid. I don't really care if you hate it. I do a show. You play hockey. We have to do things. he hates this talk, and the more he hears it, according to Elliot, the less he wants to consider the possibility. I'm not sure how.
Oh, well, in that case, Pittsburgh, you're friggin' welcome.
Yeah.
Quit your whining. You're welcome.
Oh, that's great.
But that tells me he's at least thought about it and had open conversations about it. So to say that, what you people don't understand is he would never, I think is wrong. I think he has had those
You don't know him like I know
The
him.
answer might be he
My
still wants
man.
to stay in Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
But to say that he hasn't had the conversation, give me a break. Of course he has. Of course he has.
I mean, it'd be insane if management hadn't had the conversation.
Well, and
certified.
they have a plan in place for that. They'd be stupid not to. 4 Nations. Sid got to go. He was amazing despite being injured the whole time and was a factor in those games. And I can't wait for a healthy, hopefully, Sidney Crosby to be at the Olympics for Team Canada. Tell me that him being there and being a part of that. Tell me that, a successful Canadian Olympic bid in 2026 wouldn't whet his appetite for a little bit of playoff action. Are you telling me Sidney Crosby's going, yeah, it's April 15th, and I'm thrilled to not be on the ice anymore?
Well, I was going to say, well, he'll be at the World Championship. And then I was like, they lost to Denmark.
I don't think he will. I think he went because he wanted to play with Nate and Marc-Andre Fleury.
Yeah. Man, I wish
That
they could have given him a
team-
better send-off.
Yeah, that team skirted a lot of criticism.
Yeah, because the playoffs
Because we were all like,
Denmark?
We're like, oh,
Denmark?
that must have been like an accident or something, but they still lost.
That's kind of how the 2006 team skirted criticism.
Yeah.
We were like, Switzerland?
We're like, that wasn't, something happened there.
Yeah,
that
you
wasn't
lose to
real.
the States, it's like, fuck.
Right. You got beat.
No.
Yes.
But this one, you kind of just didn't show up.
Like, the takeaway from 2002 wasn't that Sweden sucked. It was, you lost to Belarus. That's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
That was one of the most, I've told the story before, but it was one of the most anticlimactic things I've ever been part of in elementary school. Is they wheeled a TV smaller than any TV in this room, smaller probably than the TV you're watching on, into the auditorium, and they gathered as many students as they could to watch Canada versus Belarus in the auditorium to try to recreate the 72 Summit Series. Go look up the final score of that game. I think it was 7-1.
Oh, gosh.
Canada just murdered them. But again, had they lost to Belarus,
Yeah.
Belarus? But Sweden might have been the best team of that tournament. You lost to Belarus. Anyway, we're getting sidetracked. I do want to say 2 things.
It's the first time ever.
I know.
Yeah, we're usually laser.
Sometimes we just let you go.
No.
Yeah.
You do your own thing.
No,
over
this is
there.
good.
It's like, and then they had TVs, and then
All right,
Trust
let
me,
tell
this
you
is
the
gonna be
story
good.
From elementary school.
distract him, Jesse, distract him.
Trust me. 2 things. I think I'm going to come out of retirement, finally.
Okay, go ahead.
I'm announcing that I'm coming out of retirement.
Coming out of
You're
retirement.
coming out of retirement?
I think I'm going to
What did you retire from?
Trade trees.
Nice.
Good.
What trade tree is this?
Finally, Jesus.
Oh,
I've
this
been on.
is-
I don't think we can call them that.
Can I tell the audience I've been on your shit? No one trade tree. Wait, Sportsnet copy wrote trade.
Yeah, but it also doesn't matter. We're coming up with new names. Let's not get 20-minute discussion about the name. We did this last time.
I wasn't good.
I don't want
I
Sportsnet
wasn't.
to sue me for trade trees that they don't do anymore.
Trade branches.
Look who's
All right, move on.
sidetracked.
Tell us what you're doing.
The Ray Bork one.
okay.
Nice.
Because, this is what I'm talking about by, we just don't get this anymore. March 6, 2000. Ray Bork traded with Dave Anderchuk
Wow.
to Colorado for Brian Ralston, Sammy Paulson, Martin Grenier, and a first-round pick in the 2000 draft that turned into Martin Samuelson. Now,
2 of those players good, 2 of those players not.
well, what were
Ralston-
they traded for?
Ralston
How did
par-
they perform?
Yeah.
Buddy, this is let me cook. I know.
All right,
I know the
okay,
trade
all
trees. And what did Colorado flip Anderchuk for? I can't even remember that.
Man, I hope Sportsnet's not listening. They might sue you for
I
this.
know. Don't worry, they're not. The other thing I wanted to say.
So on that trade, I did a thing on that trade back in February because there was speculation in February time that Brad Marchand was going to be traded. And I was like, okay, we're repeating history again. It's the captain of the Bruins getting traded to recoup assets for the Bruins and all this stuff. And it could never happen, but it did happen. So I'm like, Brad Marchand could get traded here. It's a real possibility. And I was like, it could happen on the 25th anniversary of that trade. Because correct me if I'm wrong, that happened in 2000.
March
6th,
2000.
March 6th, 2000. This year's trade deadline was March 7th, 2025. So it's like if they do it the day before the deadline, on the 25th anniversary of them trading the Bruins captain, they're going to trade their captain. And it happened on the day of trade deadline, so I was very disappointed. But that trade is a fascinating one if you want to go back into history. And you can tie it, if you want to use this for your trade tree, you can tie it to modern day because they traded their captain again on the 25th anniversary.
They only trade the Bruins only trade their captain for insane deals.
Once every 25 years.
Well, no, because you're forgetting one in the middle.
Oh.
Joe Thornton.
Ooh.
Oh, yes.
Thornton.
Yes, so it is not.
They didn't do so hot
that
in
was
that
different.
one, but then they ended up winning the cup, so maybe they did.
I think they were right in the end.
What, trading Joe?
Yeah.
Well, they won.
They won. He didn't.
That's what I said in the trade tree video that I made. Crosby this season is going to pass. He's going to pass Mario Lemieux in his sleep.
Yeah.
He is 13 plus 23, whatever that is, points away from him. He has a real good chance of passing Steve Yzerman this season.
That'd be 36, by the way.
That would put him in 7th place all time.
And you got to remember, those are like guys that had goofy 80s numbers.
Yes. He has an outside shot of catching Marcel Dion this season. He probably has to wait till next season when he definitely catches Dion, definitely catches Ron Francis, and might honestly have a shot at Gordie Howe.
That's
how much is Howe?
1,850. And Crosby is currently sitting at 1,687.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
No,
I think-
he's going to do that.
He can do that.
If you conservatively give him 80 points for each of the next 2 seasons.
I would think he would stick around for that third year just to pass.
You got to get past Gordie Howe. You got.
Well, and if you pass Gordie Howe, you probably then also pass Mark Messier at 1887 for third. Yager at 1921.
Leave it.
But there is a world where Crosby plays long enough to pass friggin' Yager. And is second all time.
Yeah, he would need it about, what was that, 400 points?
He's no.
300? What did you say, 19, 16?
He would need, oh God. Whatever 19, here.
Hold on, 1900 and what?
1921
No,
minus
my God. Just using AI.
1687. 234.
Oh, my God.
So 80.
Super doable, man.
What?
3 80-point seasons.
380. He's 380-point seasons away.
All right,
from
so
Yager.
this isn't his last contract. There's no way, right?
no.
With that
It's-
hanging right there, he's going to do it.
You got to go for it.
It's totally up to him because I think he's going to retire before his body tells him that's enough. That's not a luxury that was afforded to Mario. It's not a luxury that was afforded to Yzerman either, whose knees friggin' fell apart. Like, what a monster.
Gordie
What a
Howe
warrior.
kept going into his 50s, right? Like he was that's a different generation, I get.
He
but-
also played I sort of touched on this. Adam, have I ever told you about the era adjusted stuff?
You hate era adjusted.
No, he scored in a much lower scoring era, and I think it was 70 game seasons, which over the amount of seasons he played, you're taking off 12.
yeah,
12,
but the
12,
pads
12,
were made
12.
of concrete at that point too.
That's
so
it.
let's,
Yeah, so was his elbows.
yeah, it's true.
He should have been in jail.
Yeah. Yeah,
Along with every other player in the league.
he went from playing like World War II veterans at the start of his career to like friggin'
His son.
Yeah, like it's crazy. It's crazy.
Yeah.
I guess the way I wanted to, and we don't have to wrap it up, but the way I wanted to wrap the argument was, I think that it's totally fair to have this conversation. I think you make a good point, Steve, when you say, what are they really going to get? Because Crosby's going to ultimately decide if they do trade him.
The team he's going to is going to win.
Jesse, I understand what you're saying, which is it'd be kind of sick to have, especially like Crosby around to help the young guys out and the bottoming out thing.
I'd like to see him stick around. I've seen too many of these athletes go places, and it's, okay, you did that. What's the point?
If Crosby never plays a playoff game again, to me, that's a sad outcome. Because that will be
He won
5
3
or
championships.
Yeah, but that'll be like 5 or 6 straight.
He
years
went to the
without
playoffs for 20 straight years.
I don't know if it was that many, but
Let me try to find Mario Lemieux.
I still find that
last playoff
sad. I
game.
find that that hurts me. I'm not going to sit here and tell you that I like it. So are you guys okay with Crosby spending 4 or 5 or 6 years not going to the playoffs just to stay with one team?
Mario Lemieux retired in 2006. His last playoff game was in 2001.
Are we?
That's 3 years. 5 years. 5 years.
Yeah. Are we sitting here being like,
And a lockout year.
Lemieux's career? Ah, man. If only he got to a couple more playoff games. No one's ever said that.
Okay, well, I'm just telling you how I feel. And by the
Yeah,
way,
but you're not going to feel
Lemieux
that.
didn't make the playoffs till the 90s. He was drafted in the mid 80s.
You're not going to say that like when this conversation's over. Like in 3 years, in 2 years, we're not going to be like, you know what? Crosby's career, what
No,
a
you're
waste.
right. I'm going to be like, you know what, Pittsburgh? I'm so glad you robbed him of 6 playoff years.
No, but
So you can be romantic about
his
it.
career isn't going to be any less extravagant. It's going to be more of a waste because he didn't go to the playoffs in year 24.
Wouldn't it be cool, though, if he got one more shot?
They might do it in Pittsburgh. He sticks around long enough based on like those. I had no idea he's that good.
So
still.
he's going to be
And,
surrounded
like,
by...
Crosby?
Yeah, and like
no one does because
no
they're
one
not a
notices.
relevant team.
But like that Yager thing, chasing that number, that 286 points or however it was you said, chasing that, they might get back to the playoffs by the time he's still around. Like if he's around another 5 years, this team could be good. They get Gavin McKenna. Who
Well, they
knows?
should be in 5.
Look at all these assets they're gonna get for all the guys.
To me, it's
Montreal's gonna send them 4 first-round
Yeah,
picks
but
for
Jesse,
Malkin.
they're going to use them all on Sioux Greyhounds who are 5'9".
Okay.
Okay? So, I mean, we got to make sure that we temper our expectations here. Not every
It's ridiculous to look at Sidney Crosby and everything he's done in this game and be like, you know what? If he had 2 more playoff runs in year 22, like that's no.
Mario
He's
Lemieux.
fine.
Mario Lemieux's career began and ended with 4 straight seasons not in the playoffs, and none of us look at the Penguins side.
No one's ever brought that up. Like that's never been a sentence.
I learned it today.
You know what? I'll
learned
be the
it
guy
now.
then.
You can be
Flag
that
in
if
the
you
earth.
want to be that guy.
I will be
but
the guy. Why did you rob him of 5 or 6 playoff runs?
There's been a trillion retrospectives on Mario Lemieux's career, and no one's ever brought up like, you know what?
If it hadn't ended with Crosby, though, if it hadn't ended with them, to quote Brian Burke, winning a goddamn lottery, then we would look at Lemieux's career differently.
No, we would.
Yes, we would. We would look at the end of it and go, isn't that sad?
No.
What a friggin' failure. I think the only redeeming part about that was the fact that he mentored Crosby, and that meant so much to the city and meant so much to the team and set them up for 3 more.
I think it's ridiculous to say that.
So Mario plays a last season, and he's playing with a bunch of bums, and they're ass, which they were.
They were.
And there's no Crosby.
They were ass
and there's no
with
Malkin.
Lemieux.
No, but that's a fake scenario.
No, but you're telling me that's, but I'm trying to say, you're saying,
Right.
well, nobody brings it up. I'm telling you the reason why. The reason why is that Crosby was there to take up the torch.
Okay.
If there's nobody there to take up the torch. What?
Okay, Crosby's rookie season, he had 102 points.
I know, he's crazy.
Led the Penguins. Who was second?
Mark Recchi. I don't know.
Oh, damn. Mark Recchi was the next forward. It was Sergei Gonchar.
Oh, man.
58.
Great player. 58.
Crosby had 102.
Wow.
Gonchar had 58. Recchi had 57, and he missed a bunch of games. Holy shit.
He also-
was alone.
Let's be honest about Mario, too. He saved them from bankruptcy. He saved them from leaving.
I mean, so did Sid.
Yes.
Holy shit.
But you know what, Adam? I'll agree with you in your fake scenario because that's not what happened. So I don't really care. I don't really care if I'm right or wrong.
When the NHL rigs it,
I don't
so
really
Gavin
care if I'm right
McKenna-
or wrong in a hypothetical because it doesn't matter.
When the NHL rigs it, so Gavin
So you're
McKenna joins the Penguins next year.
Yeah.
That's what they do.
Yeah.
Every few decades, they're like, you know what, Oilers, Penguins, you've had it rough. You have not had enough generational Hall of Famers. Let's get you another one for the next 15 years.
I think it'd be really cool if they got McKenna. I'm rooting for it.
I'm not. That's enough of your bullshit.
Where do you
Pittsburgh.
want McKenna to go?
You got Yager, Lemieux, Malkin, Crosby. Fuck off, okay? Fuck off with that shit.
so you're,
Let someone else have a generational
you want them
player.
to be bad?
No, I want them to go to the Ducks or something. Go somewhere crazy.
you said the Ducks are going to make the playoffs.
I think they are. Yeah.
You're nuts.
You think they're not going to make the playoffs?
Yeah, correct.
Really?
The West is
Well,
hard.
let's see. It's very early, but
I like that.
it's a weird summer, but
No, Leo Carlson's going to
I like what they're doing.
Leo Carlson's going to surprise.
I like what they're doing.
I didn't like the Zegras thing. I thought that was stupid.
It was weird.
Yeah, it was a weird
I like what they're doing.
Playoff team?
I think so.
Over who?
Not yet.
Name your 8 playoff teams.
In the West?
Vegas. No.
Yeah. Vegas,
No.
Edmonton, Colorado, Dallas, obviously. I have to look at them. My brain is not.
Yeah, bring up the standings. Give me who you're taking out to put in the Ducks.
Sidney Crosby conversation quickly turned to Colorado. That's interesting.
What?
You just had to bring up Colorado.
All right. Hang on.
Jets, Stars, Avalanche, Wild, Blues.
Blues, I take out
Why?
because the Blues had to go on a Nashville-like winning streak to make the playoffs. And what happened in Nashville last year?
The unprecedented success.
Yes, if you're going for the bottom of the draft, absolutely.
Can I just give you the 6 and then you need 2 more?
I also think that the Kings are friggin' ridiculous and are wrecking a good thing.
Okay, I'll give you the 5 then, and then you need 3 more. It's
Okay.
Jets, Stars, Avs, Oilers, Golden Knights.
Yes.
Lock it in. We don't need to talk
Yeah.
past those 5.
I-
So give me the next 3 teams.
I think the Wild are in.
Okay, so we got 6.
I think the Wild are in. I don't listen. I believe in the Canucks' talent. I don't believe in their execution. Utah could. Utah didn't finish that far out. They were 5-6 points out. That's 3 wins.
Really underrated.
I think I'm a big believer in what the Ducks did because the Ducks finished. They need a lot more wins than
That's your last team then.
Yeah, Ducks are 8 WC for me.
So you got
WC2.
You got Jets, Stars,
Yeah.
Avs, Wild, Golden Knights, Oilers, Ducks, Mammoth.
Yes.
And you're leaving out.
No, wait. No, I don't know if the Mammoth will. The Wild will. The Kings are going to make the playoffs, but they're going to suck.
Oh, so take out the Mammoth.
The Kings
put
are
the
going to
in.
they're going to somehow play the Oilers again, and they're going to be worse. The Edmonton's going to run them the fuck over.
So take out the Mammoth, put the Kings in.
yeah,
is what you're
Mammoth will miss by a point.
It's
saying. Let me read it again. Oilers, Kings, Golden Knights, Wild, Avalanche, Stars, Jets, Ducks.
Yeah.
Adam.
So same teams from last year. You're
Yep.
swapping the Blues and the Ducks.
And sorry, Flames fans, your team is not that
So
good. You're going.
you have the Kraken,
Yeah.
the Canucks, the Flames, and the Blues would be the big teams out of the playoffs.
Yeah.
Adam, it's giving when Jesse said the Blackhawks would make it last year.
I was thinking about
I mean,
that.
that's sorry, but that
wonder
was
if
an
anybody-
insane take.
Whenever
It
anybody
was?
can bring it up.
Arvid Soderblom?
So I thought you were nuts. If I'm not mistaken, I think I had them last. But by the end of you pitching it, I was like, I think you turned me.
It made sense on paper.
It did.
In
And
practical reality, that was
Well, we
a
didn't-
garbage opinion.
we didn't count on getting the worst performance from everyone involved. Literally everyone involved.
The reason I went with that was because of the man we were talking about,
Yeah.
Sidney Crosby. What he was able to do in his second year in the league. Same with Connor McDavid. In the second year of his league, they were able to elevate their team to this next level. But the talent around Connor Bedard isn't the same.
I like
And I should have recognized
the Blues. I like what they're doing, but the goaltending situation entirely relies on how Binnington does at the Olympics, because he didn't turn it on until after Four Nations, when all of a sudden he came back and he was like big fucking man on campus, and he deserved that.
It was crazy.
And he was crazy for the Blues.
It's one of the craziest switch flips I've ever seen in hockey.
But he was ass before that.
he was terrible at the tournament.
Yeah.
He was terrible at the. We were like,
Put Aiden
how
Hill-
isn't Aiden Hill getting into a game? Only team to not use multiple goalies.
Yep.
Only team. It's insane. And by the end of the
Doug
Finland-
Armstrong literally had a shotgun to everybody's head. Don't you dare change that goalie. Don't you
and,
dare.
And you could, if I was a salty American fan,
Uh-huh.
not even salty, like very realistically would be like, he's the only reason we lost that fucking game. We'd be talking about Austin Matthews, clutch, get it done performer, because he scored the overtime winner twice. Except he got robbed twice. And I think Brady Tkachuk did too.
True. That's my
I'm going to go home and watch that game.
Are you really?
I don't know. Maybe.
Yeah.
So good.
Ducks, man. Believe in the Ducks. I like their top 6 a lot. I can't
know you
believe
do.
you guys don't. I like, listen, okay, I'm going to pull it up right now.
Most teams have a good top 6.
No, they don't. No, they have a top
That's
2
where all
or
your best
3.
players go.
Yeah.
Oh, come on.
No, Steve's got a
Stop,
point.
Steve. No, they don't. All right. Yeah, cool. Like, okay.
That's been the Leafs forever.
Cutter
Whoa! Whoa!
Cutter Gauthier takes another step forward. He got Calder votes.
Sophomore, great.
Carlson, Leo Carlson. Outstanding last year.
Maybe sophomore.
Troy Terry is what he is, but he's good.
They're going to trade him.
Schwarzenegger's getting old.
Yeah, he's 27 now.
Yeah.
Eh? It's crazy.
Ancient.
Vetrano, I like. Vetrano, if they sign McTavish, that's a big asterisk. They got to sign McTavish.
They will.
If
They're under the cap.
I need Pat Verbeek to not let me down here because he's done some weird shit like hiring Greg Cronin, and the Zegras trade was weird.
My brother and Jesus. Do you hear yourself?
I know. I need Pat Verbeek to just, Pat, be fucking normal, dude. Just be fucking normal.
Oh, he's gonna he's gonna
fucking
hear
normal?
this and be so fucking Verbeek.
Yeah.
No?
You've been Verbeeked.
You've been Verbeeked. Eric Carlson, duck. Like
It is kind of perfect that a team called the Ducks has Verbeek as a general manager. How no one's made that connection.
Well, it should be Verbill. Bird guy.
Yeah, okay,
Bird
so
guy.
you're right. Vetrano, McTavish, Killorn. Killorn's, I think Granlund will be up there, and then it's Kreider, Strome, Granlund, and then it doesn't matter, the fourth line, whatever. I do like them a lot. I like them a lot. So,
But other bird team.
and also, you know what's crazy? Calgary couldn't score a fucking goal last year. Not a goal. And they missed the playoffs by 2 points.
Oh, I know.
I love.
And you don't think you think the Ducks are going to make it over them?
I think the Ducks have
And fuck the
a
Canucks.
better opportunity. Yeah, the Canucks, man.
Adam's
I
just
don't
like,
know.
no, screw those guys.
Yo, I'm mad at the Canucks because I picked them to win the division again because their talent was crazy.
Yeah.
I did
and
too.
then they were,
I think I did too. Yeah.
they were garbage. They sucked. And it's like, well, we're going to fight and then we're going to waffle back and forth on a trade for 4 months. And,
it's not good when your players are fighting at
Yo,
practice.
and maybe Petey could show up to camp. Like all the media are suggesting it. Show up to camp in shape. Show up to camp in shape. Show up to camp in shape.
Is that the Toronto media in Vancouver?
No, that's the Vancouver media in Vancouver.
It's Mark Spector. He went over a couple provinces.
Mark's like,
over a
I'm
couple
covering all the
provinces.
Western teams now. Haha.
Had a couple knee slappers for him. Did he?
Anyway, I'm a Ducks believer. I'm a Ducks. I'm into that. This show's brought to you by BetterHelp. Now, sometimes you need a support system around you that is invested in your life. Sometimes your support system should be a little bit more objective. Because, they always say, like, for managers, bad news never filters up, right? You have to kind of uncover it. In your life, your friends might give you some great advice, but they might be sometimes afraid to tell you the truth. Have you considered that a therapist will just tell you the truth?
Steve, that beard.
Is great.
It's great.
Wait, was there a T at the end of that? It's great.
Great, not gray.
Great. Yeah, great.
I like what you did there. Now, I want you to think about your favorite leaders, your mentors, or whatever. They don't have all the answers, but they do have some. And what if you could have somebody who's got an objective view of your life? You tell them the story. They go, okay, well, here's where you're going wrong. And it doesn't really matter if you don't love me after this.
Wow.
I think that's kind of important. That's what good therapy is good for. And with BetterHelp, you got a diverse network of more than 30,000 credentialed therapists with a wide range of specialties. You can easily switch therapists at any time at no extra cost. It's fully online. It makes therapy affordable, convenient, and it serves over 5 million people worldwide. Build your support system with BetterHelp, and we want to help you out with that. BetterHelp.com/STP today to get 10% off your first month. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/STP, 10% off your first month today. Okay. Next thing we're going to talk about. A Hobey Baker winner was traded. Isaac Howard traded to the Edmonton Oilers and for Sam Ely. And what's interesting about this is...
For who?
Is it? Oh, no, Sam O'Reilly. Why did I say Sam Ely? I had it cut off there. Isaac Howard is a draft pick that is super interesting because usually the Lightning are really good at finding players who they build into their system. They sort of underpay you for a couple years, and then you go out and you get big money or you get big opportunity. And I'm talking about Blake Coleman, Barclay Goodrow,
Anthony Cirelli.
Anthony Cirelli's a great one. Yanni Gord.
Even Braden Point's like a fourth rounder?
Yeah. And who's the other guy I'm thinking about? Carter Verhaeghe.
Oh, man.
Carter Verhaeghe was a Lightning player.
That was his third NHL team.
Yeah, behind Leafs and Islanders. We know the story. Isaac Howard not signing there is really interesting because, A, it's a tax-free state. That shit matters. But also, there seemed to be some sort of disconnect between Julien Brisebois I'm sure it had to do with bonuses.
These college kids, Cutter Gauthier, Isaac Howard.
He could have pushed and become a total free agent, signed anywhere he wanted. But now he gets to play with McDavid.
I was
pretty
rooting
neat.
for that to happen because I think Allen would have loved that. Allen would have been like, vacation's over, I'm coming back to work. Like he would have
Not even
been
his client.
so jazzed up to talk about that because like player empowerment would have been so cool. It's an option for these guys now because of how the NCAA has taken control with NIL. You can just stick around in college for 4 years and become a free agent and then go wherever you want. Like you have that power under the CBA, and it would have been cool to see a first-round pick, somebody who's highly touted, exercise their rights.
The fact
Allen
that
might actually cry.
No, honestly, he
Yes.
would weep.
Yeah. Agent tour.
I'm just so happy somebody is exercising their rights.
So, he had 52 points in 37 games for Michigan State. He was drafted 32nd overall last season.
Yeah.
And
No, 20.
2024, was he not?
No, that's
that's
Sam
Riley.
Riley.
He was he was a
2020.
2022 31st overall.
Okay.
So I just wanted to point out 52 points in 37 games. The next highest scorer on his team at 31.
So he was good.
Yes.
Yeah.
Now, what I haven't got a satisfactory answer as to why the Wild and Howard couldn't make this work.
Lightning.
Sorry, the Lightning.
Come on.
I was up till midnight doing that Christian Horner thing last night.
okay.
I'm pretty tired today.
What's going on, bud? Come on.
You're gonna have to you just have to help me along.
You got
We're
My buddy's
helping. We're
telling me.
helping.
I know. I appreciate
Yeah.
that.
Isaac Howard. Ike Howard,
Curious-
actually.
yeah, he wants to be called Ike.
Yeah.
What happened there? And I want to, speaking of an Alan Walsh client, I want to point to the fact that the Lightning have gone through this before with younger players. Remember Jonathan Drouin?
Oh.
And I wonder how this is like. I would love to know how Julien Brisebois and his staff view this player. Maybe it comes down to bonuses, maybe it comes down to fit, but
No, he's just like, screw you, I'm not doing it.
or is Isaac Howard going, I will not play in the AHL,
It's a college player.
exercising his rights?
I was talking to an agent for the Marner video. Wasn't Alan. I feel like I always
Darren
have-
Ferris.
I feel like oh yeah, for sure, we're best buds. No, I always got to say it just because everyone's going to be like, one agent. No, I know. So
He knows 0 agents.
they were like, yeah, I know less than that. No, they were like, okay, so if I have this player and they're playing in this league and the team is like, we want them on our roster now. Okay, give us A's, give us B's. And they go, no. Guess what we do? We don't sign
Right.
because we don't have to.
Yep.
And we're not going to. Now what? Oh, you want to get this done? There you go. That's all you got to do.
It was like Austin Matthews when he didn't come out of the CHL. He was with Zurich.
Yeah,
So the Leafs were like, we don't do that. And he's like, well, then I don't play for you.
I played professional hockey last year, and I'm the first overall pick. You don't have a leg to stand on here. Lou, which took some balls, right?
And they won.
And
Judd
they-
Moldover won.
Yeah, because he's the first overall pick. So Ike Howard isn't that, but holy shit. Like his leverage has grown through his play and the fact that my rights are about to expire. I have demands and you're not meeting them. Like these kids don't have a lot of leverage and he's using it.
It's worth mentioning that the Gavin McKenna thing does play into this just a little bit because we were having this chat offline, like, in our group chat the other day, and about like the NIL money that Gavin McKenna will get is $700,000.
I
right?
didn't realize that, by the way. I thought that was the worth of his education.
No.
Holy shit.
So at some point, we're not there yet. At some point, because the union refuses to fight for better entry-level contracts for the players. Like the ELC staying the same in this next CBA is so fucking insane. Like the salary cap's going to be $100 million and there's going to be some, first rounder who's like, oh, you're going to get a 925 base. Like that's insane. But it's going to get to the point where if college hockey takes off in the way that we think it will, on the trajectory it is on, NIL money is going to outstrip base money for the NHL. You'll be able to get bonuses in the NHL that are worth more, but as you know from your research, you got to be like top 10 in points or top 10 in assists.
It's extremely hard.
It's extremely hard at the NHL level to reach any of these ELC bonuses. With Isaac Howard, it's a bit of a different situation. He was making some money, and obviously the Lightning situation is crazy. But what an incredible opportunity. He
had 26 goals. Only 3 other players on his team had more than 10.
This guy gets to go from being drafted by the Lightning, which is pretty sick,
to
being on the team that lost the Stanley Cup final 2 years in a row, that has, for my money, the 2 best players on the planet.
For everyone else's as well.
And if you don't, and I'm sure he does, I'm like, if I get traded, I'm going to the gym every minute of every day, never having a chocolate bar. I know, which is difficult to see with me.
I don't understand. I don't know what you're talking
You just get in and be like, I need to be one of their wingers. I know he can play center, but like, I need to play with you. That's crazy. And for all the people that said the Lightning got fleeced on this deal, I don't think they had the leverage to win this deal. Sam O'Reilly's a good player.
All things considered, I think they did very well.
I think the Lightning did a spectacular job. They got an equivalent, kind of, because Howard has jumped his draft stock, like where he got picked. Right now, what he's done in his 3 years at Michigan State has been so extraordinary in how he's developed his game. He's a better prospect than what he was when he went 31st overall, than what he is then to what he is now. But to get a first-round pick from last year back, that's really good work.
Yeah.
I think Julian Breezewell actually hit a home run here with the draft pick.
Is Nicolas Waugh as good as Mitch Marner?
No.
You know what he's so much better than? Nothing.
Getting 0.
That's what the Lightning were up against.
Yeah.
It's not how do we get a player as good. If you get a player as good as Isaac Howard, in return, you're already GM of the year. You're not.
And that wouldn't be possible.
You're not doing that because you're being faced with Isaac Howard or nothing.
Yes.
So, well, not Isaac Howard or nothing. You're being faced with something or nothing. Sam O'Reilly's a hell of a something.
Yeah.
That's a considering the situation. Yeah, it's a bad situation. Okay? Like spilt milk. We're over that. Considering the situation, that's really good.
Isaac Howard, if you go back and do a redraft, maybe he goes top 15, top 10 or something like that.
Oh, that's
but
interesting.
To get a 2024 first rounder in O'Reilly, like that's really good for somebody you weren't going to have because he didn't want to sign there.
2022, Slavkovsky, Nemec, Cooley, Wright, Gauthier, Juracek, Korchinski, Kasper, Savoy, who the Oilers already have in their system and he's not playing, Mintyukov, Connor Geekie.
I think Savoy's going to play this year, though.
I don't
Keep going, because I think I'm kind of in line with 15.
Mintyukov, Geekie, Denton Mateychuk, Frank Nazer, Rucker McGroarty, who hasn't gone all that great, Jonathan Lekkerimaki.
Where's that?
Lekkeramaki's 15.
I think it's right around there.
I think he probably goes top 10.
Yeah, it's right in there. It's 10 to 15, somewhere in there.
Especially with a Hobie Baker stamp on it, right?
Yeah. Like this is a really good player, and the fact that you were going to lose him for nothing potentially if he just goes back to Michigan State, like to get a first round draft pick is good work by the Lightning.
Yeah, like
but
most of these players have either barely played or not played at all. But right where we are now, he probably goes top 10.
One of the options was to just sign him to a contract, and I think
but once that train was missed,
but like negotiations always go that way.
Yes.
You think like it's over, like we're never doing a deal again, and then you kind of just acquiesce to what they want more so, and they could have just done the contract. And I think that's the biggest sin in this whole thing. Yeah. But if you're so committed to not having this player in your system, who knows? Like Howard could have also not wanted to be a Lightning, which would be weird. I don't think that would be
not many players have done that in recent memory.
Who in the history of hockey has never wanted to be a Lightning? So
he just said that. He's like, I just never wanted to play for them. Like,
he'd never say that.
Nobody, other than like the Panthers fans out there, like no one's like, fuck the Lightning. I never want to be a part of that organization.
And for a prospect coming up in the system like that, so I don't think that was the case. Julian Breezewell probably could have done this deal with Howard, but if you're not going to do that, you're committed to not doing that. Getting a first round pick is the next best option.
It hurts the Lightning's window.
Definitely.
Because I think he steps into the lineup next year and is great.
Unless you parlay Sam O'Reilly into something else.
You could, and it's not because I think Sam O'Reilly's bad. I don't think
That's a player who's not helping you next.
Does that get you
Exactly.
Does he help in a package for Ricard Raquel?
There you go.
Brian Russ.
Now you're cooking.
Right?
Yeah.
That's what I would do.
Yeah. Oh man, he ends up as a Penguin. That
That's
makes
what I mean.
some
That's
sense.
what it should be, right?
You know who's such a lightning ass player? Brian Rust.
Yep.
Lightning ass
Pain in the
player.
ass.
Damn it. Him
saw
and
this-
Hagel. Damn it.
We saw this with Keller Gauthier, like Adam's favorite trade ever, with him not wanting to play for the Flyers. But that
All they had to do, Jesse, was fire Tortorella, and he would have probably stayed.
and they did it.
And they did it a season after they blew that fucking trade.
Yeah.
Also, by the way, the Cam York extension is hilarious because Cam York was the guy that wasn't he like a major part of the end of Torts? Like he was benching Cam York.
I think I want to say the last game Torts ever coached, he was benched.
Like that was the big thing when we were in San Jose, was it not? That Torts was like, because that all
Well,
broke
that
when
did
we were in
happen
San
when we
Jose.
were in. Yeah.
And then he was like benching the guy and then said, I couldn't do this or I can't do this. There was like a big thing about Cam York.
Yeah.
So they go and they sign him at a
Yes.
6-year deal, $5.5 million. So the organization loves this guy. It's like, dude, okay, you got to know when your coach with a very clear expiry date has expired and they held on a season too long. You should have said to Gauthier, listen, just wait out the season and we'll make a change. You could have hung on to Gauthier. You didn't need to do this you didn't need to bench Matvei Michkov for a defensive gaffe and he's 19. Well, the guy doesn't even speak English. Like, what the hell are we talking about here?
See, Torts explained that earlier in the season, and after listening to his explanation, I was like, okay. But
Steve,
at the end
you
of
can
the,
explain anything. Does it make it the right call?
no, but sometimes your explanation sucks, and
Yeah,
I
okay.
thought his was fine.
That's how one gets into positions like
This was
that.
in like
They
November.
can explain bad decisions.
But sorry, I was very distracted. Cutter Gauthier from, you guessed it, Skellefteå, Sweden.
Oh,
What?
Had no idea.
had no idea.
Me neither.
You taught me something today.
According to HockeyDB, Skellefteå or
Born
Skellefteå-
there?
That's what it says.
No way.
Interesting.
All right.
I wonder what. Well, he's probably go on his Wikipedia page to find out when he came over, but I had no idea. Swedish.
Elite prospects. Who is his dad?
This situation happened with Kevin Hayes as well. Blackhawks drafted him, refused to sign there. Became an unrestricted free agent, signed with the New York Rangers.
Yeah.
So it's not unfamiliar territory where we get this, but this seems a little different where it's like the Lightning didn't want to give him the contract, but with the Blackhawks and Kevin Hayes, it seemed like he just didn't want to be a Blackhawk.
I'll give you a
at the time.
lower profile one. There was a mid-round pick of the Panthers. He didn't really feel like signing there. So,
Oh, I know who you're talking
yeah, they get, I think it was Greg McKegg in a conditional 6th or 7th. It's friggin' Zach Hyman. Comes to the Leafs. I mean,
I mean, to be fair to him, the Panthers were a tire fire.
they were
Terrible.
Awful.
You don't want to be in that organization at that point.
terrible.
So Howard's not unprecedented.
No, but you know what's
it's
interesting?
It's an interesting situation to see how the Lightning handled it.
The Kevin Hayes thing, I'm so glad you brought that up because Kevin Hayes has always had, unfairly, I think, this guy's difficult label attached to him. And I think part of that stems from the fact that, listen, NHL players can probably be difficult. But I think the other part of it is, well, he refused to sign with his drafting team. That shit
Yeah.
pisses off. You don't have to ask me, ask Alan.
There-
That pisses off the old men in the NHL.
There's 8 guys who work in the NHL, like for anybody out there who doesn't know, like it's a rotating cast of the same 20 guys. And when you do something like that at, what have you been, 22? And all of those, especially like the Blackhawks regime, like we don't need to get into those guys,
yeah.
but those are the oldest of the old guys who we all know their history. And at that time, if that trickles through the NHL, that Kevin Hayes is difficult and we can't get him signed and now he's going to the Rangers and all that stuff, that's going to hang with him for 20 years.
That will stick to you like glue. And I think that is
And
going
it's a
away a little
shame.
bit because
It's
you
a
do have
shame.
younger guys in.
Yeah.
The worst thing to be called in hockey is a bad guy.
Yeah.
And I don't think he was called a bad guy.
No, but it is
Difficult.
Oh,
Difficult for a player is a hard label to shake. Once that starts getting out to the media, and by the way, we've heard that about this player. And I'm not saying he doesn't have to own some of it. I don't know Kevin Hayes. I don't know his situation.
But
I
could-
do know that was a part of it.
It could have been a situation where he made a decision that he is very in his right to do, and people within the league didn't like it, and they've cast him as that way. unjustifiably so.
I know that your players union, who got skunked a couple times in a row, actually successfully argued for this and got it through for you. But how dare you take advantage of it, you prick?
Yeah.
Like,
One thing it really bothers me when people get on players for doing this is turning down trades. I negotiated a no trade clause in my contract, but because the guys up in the boxes, the GMs and the presidents want me to waive because they don't want me here, they label me as difficult because I am exercising my right that I've negotiated. Maybe I left money on the table to get that clause, but all of a sudden I'm the bad person because I'm using that right. I think it's that same category of like players using the power they have and the NHL not liking that.
Yep.
It's such a shame.
Yep.
Two things. We forgot about Adam Fox,
Yes.
who was on
yeah.
his third NHL team.
Carolina, Calgary before that, right?
Yeah.
He was drafted by Calgary, traded to Carolina. He said, no, I don't want to go there either, and ends up in New York.
Wins a Norris.
Cutter Gauthier's dad.
He liked books, right?
No, that was the other difficult one.
Dougie Hamilton.
I always got that
That's
story
not
confused.
books, museums.
Museum.
He doesn't want to be a jackass
Yeah,
just
but-
eating chicken fingers
No,
when he could be at a museum.
Museums have old books, and that's worse.
Yeah.
Oh, true.
Yeah.
No, he liked educating himself.
Cutter Gauthier's dad is Sean Gauthier, who was a goalie from Sudbury, Ontario. His last 2 seasons, he played in Skellefteå.
Oh.
There you go.
And he did play 1 NHL game where he made 2 saves
Hey.
with the
that's cool.
San Jose Sharks.
That's great.
That's kind of like how Nylander's Calgary, because Michael played in
Yes.
Calgary. He was born
Yeah.
there at
Yeah.
the time. He was playing there. Yeah.
He is still from Calgary, Alberta. The idea that he's from Stockholm, don't lie to me.
No, he
Don't
is.
gaslight me.
Yes, he is.
That's where you like grew up.
That's cool. That's not where you're from.
Wow.
Oh no, that's
You were born there.
No, you're so wrong
You were
about
born
that.
there.
No, that's
Canadian.
that's one of the good things that the Leafs did is
I know.
they stopped referring to Nylander as from Calgary and Matthews from San Ramon, California.
Yes.
Like, yeah, okay, he was born there.
Yeah.
No.
Like the semantics of the thing. Yeah, you're Calgary born, but culturally in every way,
Yes, I
you
know.
are Swedish.
Listen, my mom was born in Edmonton. 2 weeks later, they moved to Pittsburgh and she
Yeah.
lived their first 25 years.
No,
in
your
the
mom's
States.
an Edmontonian.
Yeah.
No, she's American.
I
She's
do
always
have-
like, let's go Eskies. Or what are they called
They're
now?
not. I don't know.
Oh, the
the
Elks.
Elks.
Oh.
The Elks.
Okay. I don't fucking know, man. I don't know anything about the CFL. My mom actually, can I tell you a funny story?
Yes.
Since we're like a little bit later in this pocket, my mom, I won't say who it is, but my mom was like accosted by a CFL head coach.
What?
Like 10 years ago. Not accosted. But he
You're
like
exaggerating.
aggressively was like, I hear your radio show. And she's like, oh, cool. And then he was like, how come you don't talk about the CFL? And she's like, well, I grew up in the States and I'm a Steeler fan. So that's what I know. And that's what I talk about. And he goes, yeah, I'm from the States too. You should be talking about the CFL.
The Argos?
And X team. And he was like really not very nice about it. She's
Well,
like,
she was in Toronto at the time.
she was in Toronto.
So she had to talk about the
At a
Argos.
media event.
He was asking her to talk about the Argos more.
Yes, and he's like, well, you should be showing some pride in watching. And she's like, I did not grow up here. I don't know how to describe this to you.
By the way,
I don't know. I don't know
not a
what you want me to
CFL
do.
fan,
My
yeah.
mom. By the way, my mom fucking hated hockey before I got into it, and like she went to Penguins games in the 70s when they were shit. She was a football fan.
Your mom also worked at a music radio station, and historically, when you talk sports on those stations,
don't
the
like-
ratings
No,
tank.
they love it.
The ratings tank, and your boss gets mad at you, and you shouldn't be talking about a niche sport in Toronto like the CFL.
Yeah.
By the way, some people are lost. Adam's mom is Aaron Davis.
That's right. Yeah. I will tell you this though. I follow it. It is breaking news because it happened during the show, but everybody will have heard about it by the time this gets out. Who will be a part of the bench and management group for Hockey Canada? You obviously with the World Juniors last year, total and complete disaster. Dave Cameron was awful.
Oh, this is for the World Junior?
The selection was insane. Everybody, like, it was very political. We had guys in the juniors telling us, players we talked to in the juniors going, this is obnoxious before they even got to the World Juniors. Who would make the most sense to bring in and completely change the moronic way they handled it last year. Who's the bulldozer? Who's the Dodge Ram truck pulling into town to tell you what's what?
So you're throwing me right off the scent because my first thought was Willie Desjardins.
Oh, it's certainly no. That's like throwing a glass of milk on the problem.
Dale Hunter.
Yes.
Oh, wow. Really?
And Mark Hunter.
Nice.
Dale and Mark Hunter.
So Dale Hunter will be.
Are they related?
He'll be behind the bench.
Okay.
Mark Hunter will be a part of the management group.
That makes sense.
See, that's interesting because for guys who have been around for...
By the way, Dale and Mark Hunter, owners of the London Knights.
Yes.
Just so everybody knows.
For guys who have been around as long as they have, how many times has Dale ever coached this team?
I think he has before, but I don't actually.
You would think so.
Yeah.
You
But
can
like
go
Dave
on.
Cameron's done it, I think, 50 times.
Yep.
Elite prospects.
It's probably like 3. But
Yeah, but
Right?
even so, I think, these guys are they're the OHL equivalent of, I don't even know how you find an equivalent. Maybe Lou Lamoriello in the sense that if there's a rule, they're going to find a way around it. And all they want to do, and Knights fans will attest to this, to them, there are ways to do things that are considered perhaps outside the bounds that are still legal, that they will spare no expense, and they will do everything they can to stock their roster every year with the best players. And there's a reason why the London Knights are always one of the more dominant teams.
The answer is 1920. Dale Hunter was the head coach of the
knew
World
it.
Juniors.
man, that's a long time
Under
ago.
20.
Oh, like the 2019, 2020. Okay, sorry.
What did you think? What was your joke? 1820s?
1920. I'm being...
Oh, okay.
What up?
All right.
supposed to laugh.
And then he did coach the under 18s in 13-14. But yeah, only one time the World Juniors.
This is the
For a
no
guy
bullshit
with
hire.
a guy with his stature, like, you would think he would coach it more often.
Well, I think Hockey Canada is a very political organization. Like the reason Dave Cameron got it, and this came out afterwards, was it was his turn. That's not how you run an organization like that. It's not, it was his turn. It's, are they the most qualified person in a country of 40 million people?
Man,
Hard to argue with 2 Memorial Cups in a row.
it's difficult.
These guys don't get, what I like about the Hunters and admire about them immensely is they don't give a fuck. They're gonna pick the best team available. They're gonna be mean. They're gonna be skilled.
Utterly fuckless.
Yeah. And they build, like, you see some of the videos that the London Knights post of like Mark Hunter's post-game speeches and stuff like that, and those kids will die for this guy.
You mean Mark or Dale?
Dale, excuse me.
Yeah.
They'll die for him. They love him. I'm pumped about this. Because, listen, if the London Knights skirt the rules and I'm a Kitchener Rangers fan, I'm a little upset about it. But if I'm cheering for Team Canada, I want fuckless 1 and fuckless 2 to be the head of them.
He is
Be total
objectively
bastards.
one of the most accomplished junior hockey executives of all time.
And that franchise what's that franchise? They own that arena. It's got a sponsorship deal, which not every arena does. That like the franchise.
Packed.
Yes, and they're the ones
They
like
do better than most AHL teams.
there are certain OHL teams that are like, oh, well, you could buy them for $30 or $40 million. The London Knights are the ones driving the price up for the whole league. They're like the $100 million team.
I'd love to know. I really would love to know.
Adam, you got to look into the camera. You got to do a formal apology here. The Saginaw Spirit won the Memorial Cup last season.
Stupid idiot!
Right, they won the
Stupid
OHL
dumbass!
The
championship.
London Knights won
Don't put the camera on
Memorial
me.
Cup.
Dumbass!
The London
what?
Knights won the Memorial Cup this season. They did not win back-to-back Memorial Cups. Saginaw, erasure on this podcast will not be accepted
You're right.
by Jesse
Saginaw,
Blake.
I want to apologize. And I remember one of my favorite bits that the Stephen Colbert Show did is they voted Stephen Colbert as their mascot. And he was like a screaming eagle that looked like Stephen Colbert back in the day. Stiegel Kobeagle the Eagle, I think it was
Yes.
called. Yes. That is how I first was introduced to the Saginaw Spirit, truly. And may that spirit never die. So apologies, Saginaw. But also the London Knights are fucking... I don't know. This is great. This is a nice reversal from what we had last year.
This is your best choice. Like,
Yes.
this is the best choice to run the World Juniors is these two individuals. They are the most tapped into junior hockey. They have the best ability to get the best players in junior hockey. I think Canada's primed for success here.
If I could just help convince you to play for Team Canada. No, Mark, put the briefcase away. We don't have to do that here. What?
Not like that.
What? It has a contract in it to play for the team.
These
It's
guys.
not money, Adam. Don't suggest something.
Who the
stupid.
hell
Nobody
said
said
money?
anything about money.
I'm pissed.
Yeah,
Ruined.
that was really wrong of you.
ruined a perfectly good joke.
Two errors now in this segment.
Oh man.
Uncalled for.
Yeah. First I
Uncalled
said
for.
wild, but I meant lightning, and then
unprofessional, honestly.
you know what? Straight up, there was a time where it used to bother me. Now I'm like, you know what? I respect it. That's how you win in sports. You kind of get around the rules. Like it's what happens, right? You use your advantages.
Marchand's going to play till he's 43.
Oh, 100%. Yeah. I think it's my love of Formula One that's got me around on that too. Like I don't give a shit
Cheating's
now.
great?
Well, that's what they do. Here are the regulations, and then the teams will go, okay, cool, we found this thing, and they're like, and then Formula One 2 years later is like, we should have closed that loophole.
Adam's cheering for the guy who got caught putting weights in his fish.
Well, Tom
Have
Brady.
you ever
could
seen
play-
that video?
No.
Holy shit.
Weights in his fish?
Yeah, this guy got caught cheating, like, I don't know, a fishing competition because he put like steel balls in a fish.
You're a fucking
And people found them and they're like, you're going to fucking jail.
Well, you're not going to jail. It's tilapia. We're fine. But like,
Yeah, I don't know if that's a jail.
that's not a
sentence.
jail thing.
Cheating at a fish competition.
Yeah.
It's a really, I put it up there with Nick Tarnasky beating up that guy at the golf course.
Boo.
No, it was bang.
Oh, bang.
That video, by the way, we got to talk about that for a second. That was
we do.
crazy.
There's no reason to be that mad on the golf course, ever.
Jesse, why would somebody get that mad on the golf course? Like, what could be the reason?
One of the people in the fight was on drugs. Clearly.
Maybe.
I think very clearly. One of the people was on drugs.
I am not making claims. I am merely assuming
Yes.
someone that mad is not sober.
No, so I think that had something to do with challenging an ex-NHL enforcer to
Who
a
is
fight.
twice your size.
And then trying to continually getting up to try and run at him with like nothing. He has no mechanics. He has nothing going. No motor skills at the
Are
moment.
you chirping him?
Because
Fucking cry about it.
because he's so zonked out of his mind. He has no motor skills to fight back.
Completely zooted.
And the other guy decided to beat his ass to teach him a lesson to not show up to a golf course zonked out of your mind or get zonked during your round.
Not just beat his ass, Jesse. Narrate
Yes.
his ass beating
Yeah.
and then throw him like TJ Jesse Jeff into a fucking lake. Man,
The police are investigating this video, by the way.
they already cleared him.
Oh, they cleared him.
Yeah, that
course
was
they did.
either
good.
last night or this morning.
Oh, I
It
just
was-
saw the headline that they're investigating.
What's the RCMP?
Oh, nice.
Like-
What's the angriest you've ever seen someone on a golf course?
oh my God, I'm not around angry.
Other than me.
You would be top up there on the list.
Yeah, okay.
On you trying
And I
to
was
swing
mad
a
at my
golf
own
club.
play.
And you were
Yeah.
just sort of stewing. You were just
Yeah, I really was.
you were like Joe Pesci in Home Alone.
Adam, you ever gonna dedicate yourself to not being mad at golf?
Off, no. No. Fucking, fuck ass sport. It's so stupid. like stupid fucking sport. And you know what?
What is stupid about golf?
So much respect for anybody that can do it well. Like it really is. It is golf.
Fuck.
Golf reveals all your weaknesses, and surprise, surprise, I don't fucking like that. But I have to tell you, I fully respect everybody that can do it. Jesse, like when I see Jesse hit a ball, Jesse can crush it off the tee.
Not accurate.
No, that is accurate. That's like you don't have to be like obnoxiously humble about it. You can crush it.
I can hit far, can't hit it straight.
Okay,
that
fair.
often.
That's fair. But you
That's
at
what
least
I'm
get
saying.
distance.
That's what I'm saying. And that's
Yo,
what accuracy is, Adam.
Here's the thing. When I hit it, it goes into the fucking lake and it's 3 meters away.
Adam,
I can't do either.
what made you
Right.
more mad last time we were golfing? That you were doing poorly, or that you were doing poorly and I made a couple putts?
No, I was happy for you.
No, yeah.
I wasn't mad at you.
Do you remember when your father-in-law, when I hit like a really nice driver?
You guys were the
Right.
two of you were just having a grand old
right
time.
down the middle.
You and Robbie.
And he like looks to Adam. He's like, "That's how you hit the ball."
Yo, Robbie's a fucking chirper.
With his replaced hips.
Yeah.
Oh my God,
your
Adam.
father-in-law's really good at golf.
He's very good, and
Yeah.
he loves it. He golfs a couple times a week in the
Nice.
summer. Like he's also like a monster chirper.
Yeah.
Like he
Yeah?
is anything. Well, that whole family, the Robbie and
Your other
Natalie
half.
and Lauren, whatever, they are all extraordinarily competitive. The first time I beat Natalie at cards, she wouldn't talk to me for 10 minutes.
That makes sense.
Like she couldn't shake my hand. She couldn't do anything. I was like, babe, come here. I just beat you. Like what? And she was like, she had to go away.
How pissed was she you proposed first?
Less mad about that.
Gotcha.
But Robbie's fucking what we go.
Well, while he chirps, has he ever been challenged to a fight by some like 5'6" guy on a golf course?
No, but I think in his younger years he would have done it. But he's got 2 replaced hips now.
Yeah.
So his side to side movement, like the one thing about Tarnasky in that is the guy runs into him and it's like somebody hitting a wall.
My least
Like, he
favorite
doesn't-
part of that
like,
whole clip
he doesn't move.
is him charging at Tarnasky like a bull, and then his friend comes in and goes, "Leave him alone."
Yeah. Well, he knows his friend is fucked up.
Yeah.
Like,
Yes.
right, his friend is going in there and being like, please lay off this man. He's on so many drugs. What he's saying isn't true. You know, it's the drugs talking.
yeah.
So
I
I
am
get that.
defending myself from someone actively running at me. By the way, I have to point out this. I love talking to people who are super enthusiastic about hockey and too young to remember stuff that I remember. So I got to go down the Vitas rabbit hole with producer Hayden.
Okay.
Vitas Chahov.
Oh, okay.
This guy not only picked the wrong guy, he might have picked the wrongest guy. Nick Tarnasky in 11-12 played for Vitas Chahov of the KHL. He had 4 goals, 7 assists, 11 points in 36 games, 173 penalty minutes.
Which is crazy in a European hockey game.
This fucking team was owned by definitely not organized crime. And in the KHL, you have, it's 4 or 5 import slots.
Yeah.
Where you're allowed to sign guys from outside of Russia. Or
Tim Stapleton is a huge KHL.
Tim Stapleton was unbelievable in the KHL. Josh Levo just set the KHL record for goals in a season. He
Wow,
almost,
good for him.
Almost hit 50.
Somewhere Babcock's punching air.
Yeah, I was looking at it. I'm like, maybe the Leafs should sign him. Saw his agent, Darren Ferris. Never mind. This team used their slots on Kip Brennan, who had 1 goal, 0 assists, 240 penalty minutes in 14 games.
Wow.
John Mirasty, who had 2 goals, no
Nasty
assists.
John Mirasty.
Nasty John Mirasty, 197 penalty minutes in 30 games. John Mirasty, for those of you who don't know, because I don't think he played an NHL game, is one of the gyms from Shoresy. He's usually the gym that goes first.
Yeah.
Yes.
Jim, yeah, that one. He's that Jim.
I like the episode where the gyms were like kind of sad. Like, oh.
Jeremy Yablonski, who in 16 games had no points, 174 penalty minutes, and nasty Nick Tarnasky, who was the Gretzky of the bunch with 11 points, 173 penalty minutes. These guys showed up, lost hockey games, and beat the brakes off of you while no one in the KHL was close. No one in the KHL could do anything. And they would just drop their gloves and chase you. And you had to take your sustained ass beating the entire time.
And the KHL being the KHL probably didn't even suspend them.
No.
I've heard stories. But there's 2 jump scares if you go down the Hockey DB rabbit hole with that team, where you go, who the fuck? On their roster, Danny Markov was on that team. And who led them in scoring? Well, so a guy named Michaela Neeson. But second, who is this guy? He hasn't played a single NHL game yet. That's some kid named Artemi Panarin.
Oh.
He played on that team.
Wow.
So they did no goal scoring. None. But all of it was done by those 2, pretty much. And Tarnasky, Yablonski, Morasti, and Brennan just beat the shit out of you every game. Morasti and Yablonski are part of one of the craziest hockey adjacent videos on the internet, and a lot of you have seen it, where these Russian guys are at a wedding challenging a few gentlemen to a fight. And it happens to be Yablonski and Morasti. And I feel like most of the guys in the crowd don't realize who they're going at. Except there's a guy, and it might be the guy holding the camera, who's going, Morasti, Yablonski. He knows what's about to happen. And they proceed to beat up the wedding.
I don't think I've seen this video.
They beat up the wedding. The whole wedding.
I love that.
It wasn't just the bride and groom getting gifts. They were handing them out left and right. The whole, like one punching the whole wedding like Dragon Ball Z characters one by one, including a guy at the end who thought was on their side and they knocked him out anyway. So that's Vitas. That's who you ran at head first, you nut job.
Yeah.
You ran at Nick Tarnasky.
Yeah. So don't get high on the golf course? Is that what we're saying?
I'm sitting or too low. You know, it's a game of calmness.
To pivot a little, because you're talking about the KHL teams, did you guys see the news out of Columbus today with their first round draft pick?
Yeah.
So Pyotr Andreanov, he signed a 5-year deal to stick around the KHL. And to me, like that deal, it screws me how much of a miss it was for the Blue Jackets to do that in the first round. Because if you look at that draft pick, it was a reach. Like number 2, most people had number 2 goalie prospect in the draft at the time. Some people had him at number 1, but nobody had him as a first round pick.
No.
That pick was available in the second round. And to reach at, I think it was 15, to do it there for a player that, number 20, sorry, not 15, 20 overall, to do it there and then to also guarantee that he's not going to help your team for a minimum of 4 years. I question still the direction that the Columbus Blue Jackets are heading in, because they've had a difficult half decade, and I don't know if their offseason right now is putting them in the right direction. Plus, you signed Ivan Provorov for a bunch of money.
That was
crazy.
fucking deal.
To me, like these last couple of weeks in Blue Jackets land have just piled on to like, you guys were so close to making the playoffs last year. I hope you would have built on that momentum coming out of the season. And right now, for me, draft and free agency, it's a couple misses.
You'd have been better off. Whatever it took to get Dobson out of New Island, you should have traded that pick to them.
It sounded like the Islanders went with Montreal more than Columbus because Dobson wanted Montreal more than Columbus, and they did right by him, even though the package was reported a little better by Columbus. And they still couldn't get the player.
So I think
it's not great.
Columbus is still out there, and they're going to be one of the teams who I think has a busy summer and fall. 2 things. Columbus reached like hell for Igor Chinnikov, and it was the talk of the draft. We were all like, you're out of your mind. He should have gone somewhere in like the 90s. And he went like 21st overall. Great pick. And it's just extortion. They're signing him to 5 years. He will likely buy his way out of his contract and end up in the NHL sooner.
Yeah,
right. There's a 4-year out. Like at the 4th year, there's an out for him to leave for the NHL.
Yes,
at the 4th year of that contract. So that's why I said. But if they want him before the 4 years, so like I think they just wait out the 4 years,
or buy him out of 1.
Like they wait 3 years then.
Yeah,
but like I don't know. I wanted Columbus to do more than this.
Yeah,
and. Like the Dobson deal, I think perfectly ties into like there's another thing, and you're saying they're going to be busy this offseason. They've been trying to be busy, and they've been swinging and missing because nobody's signing there.
They have so you're going to have to trade, and if you want to get better, you're going to have to trade like futures.
Yeah, but who's trading with them? They tried to do a trade, and they sent a better package to the Islanders, and the Islanders still went with Montreal's package.
Keep trying. You just got to keep trying. I mean, all the assets you were going to give Montreal, you still have, right? So, or most of them.
They got to do something, though, Jesse. I agree.
Yeah, I know. I'm rooting for Columbus to do things, and every time there's new Columbus news that comes out, I'm like, well, that's disappointing. Yeah. And this was another one of like, oh, well, you reached for this goaltender, and now you got to either extort the KHL team and send them money.
Be extorted.
Or
No,
be
be extorted.
be extorted by the KHL team and send them money, or wait 4 or 5 years. Like, come on.
Well, I guess it lines up perfectly with the expiry of Merzlikins' contract. So, because that expires in the
Holy
next half.
shit.
Oh,
He
my
has
God.
4 years?
No,
Is
I
that
think
it?
he's got 3 years left,
Oh,
but still, it's a lot.
That's still too much. Holy moly.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, so should we wrap there?
Sure.
Let's wrap it up. All right, we'll be back next Tuesday.
The Presser. SDP.
Are we doing a presser?
That's not the right
The
one.
Steve Dangle Press Conference.
All right,
All right, Maddie, ask a question.
Oh, man.
What
Ask a question for the press conference.
is your favorite color?
I knew it. Blue. Easy. Next.
The Steve Dangle Podcast. Follow the guys on Twitter at Steve_Dangle, at Adam WYLDE, and at Jesse Blake. Connection complete.